Good morning, everyone. Today, we are going to focus on essential aspect of your A-level studies, mastering general insurance through multiple choice questions. Our goal is to explore strategies for effectively tracking the question, understanding common pitfalls, and enhancing your overall performance in this area. Without further ado, let's get started. The diagram shows a transverse section through a blood capillary. What is the magnifications of the drawing? To determine the magnification, use this formula. Magnifications is equal to size of drawing divided by the actual size. The actual size of the blood capillary is 7 micrometer. You have to compare the sizes given. For the A, multiply 200, you get the value of 1,400 micrometer. For B, multiply 245, you get the value of 1715. And C, multiply 500, you get the value of 3,500 micrometer. And D, multiply 5,000, you get the value of 35,000 micrometer. So the most likely answer would be C, which is multiply 500, because it's closely reflect typical microscopic observation. A culture of human cell had its cell surface membrane removed, releasing the cell content. This material became contaminated by bacteria. The material was then centrifuged, separating out the various cell structures according to size and mass. Which cell structures would be separated out along with the bacteria? In the centrifugation process, smaller structures separate together. Ribosomes are small and similar to size to bacteria, so they would be separated out with the bacteria. Endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, and nuclei are larger and would sediment separately, so the correct answer is ribosome. Which part of a cell contain ribosomes? The correct answer is chloroplast, mitochondria, and cytoplasm. These can be explained through ribosomes are found in chloroplast, mitochondria, and cytoplasm. Golgi body does not contain ribosome. This question is a similar question which is appear in March 2021. The electron micrograph show part of 2 eukaryotic cells. Which features are also found in prokaryotes? The answer is X and Y only. Which of the structures are found in photosynthetic prokaryotes? In photosynthetic prokaryotes such as cyanobacteria, the following structures are found. Cell surface membrane, yes, it's present. Cellulose wall, no. They typically have a peptidoglycan cell wall and not cellulose. Ribosomes, yes, it's present. And chloroplasts, no, because prokaryotes do not have chloroplasts. They have thylakoid membranes for photosynthesis. So the correct answer will be 1 and 3. In order to estimate the quantity of glucose in a solution, equal volume of a range of known concentrations were made with equal excess volume of Benedict solution and placed in a thermostatically controlled water bath at 90 Celsius for the same length of time. The unknown solution was then treated in the same way and the color of the known and unknown solution compared. What is the independent variable in this procedure? In this procedure, the independent variable is a factor that is changed or manipulated to observe its effects on the outcome. Concentration of the glucose is the independent variable as you are mixing different concentration of glucose solutions with Benedict solution to assess the resulting color change. What cannot occur as a result of condensation reaction? A condensation reaction typically involves the joining of 2 molecules with the removal of a water molecule. This can be explained through brief analysis as below. Breaking of a glycosidic bond, and this is a hydrolysis reaction, and not a condensation reaction. Formation of a disaccharide, this occurs through a condensation reaction. Joining together two amino acids, this is also occurs through a condensation reaction. And finally, productions of a molecule of water, and this is a key features of condensation reaction. Therefore, the correct answer is breaking of a glycosidic bond. Which pair of the monosaccharide form sucrose? The answer is C. The diagram shows the relationship between different polysaccharides and the glycosidic bond formed between the monomers. Which row is correct? The answer is D. The diagram shows some of the type of bond in fatty acids. Which row shows the bond found in each type of molecule? The answer is A. What would describe the tertiary structure of a protein? The tertiary structure of a protein refers to its overall three-dimensional shape, which is determined by the interactions between the amino acid side chains. This can be explained through alpha helix describe a secondary structure, not tertiary. A globular structure, this can be described a tertiary structure, as many proteins have a globular shape. The specific order of amino acid, this refers to the primary structure, not tertiary. And finally, a specific three-dimensional shape, and this accurately describes the tertiary structure. So based on the options statement as above, it indicates that the correct answer for these questions is 2 and 4. Following a heart attack, the enzyme lactate dehydrogenase leak into the blood plasma from damaged heart muscle. Which steps are required to obtain an estimate of lactase dehydrogenase activity in a sample of blood plasma? The answer for this will be sterilized blood plasma by heating is not required. Incubated with substrate for lactase, yes, this step is required. And finally, incubated with lactase dehydrogenase inhibitor, this step is not required. 2 experiments were carried out using an enzyme from humans. The first experiment, X, was carried out at a constant temperature of 37 Celsius. During the second experiment, the temperature was increased from 37 Celsius to 80 Celsius. All other factors were kept the same. Which graph shows the results? The answer is A. Which molecule are found at the outer surface of a cell surface membrane? In the outer cell surface membrane, the following molecules are typically found. Cholesterol, which is present. Cholesterol helps to maintain membrane fluidity. Glycolipid is also present, which is very important for cell recognition and signaling. Phospholipid, while present as a major component of a membrane, they form a bilayer and are not specifically limited to the outer surface. So the correct answer is A. Which substance can pass directly through cell surface membrane without using a carrier protein or a channel protein? This is also similar questions which already appeared in March 2023. The answer is CO2 can pass directly through the cell surface membrane without using a carrier protein or a channel protein. The answer is 1 and 3. Which statement about the protein in cell surface membrane are correct? The correct is statement 1 and statement 2. They can be involved in active transport and facilitated diffusion. They are also involved in antigen recognition. However, statement 3 is incorrect because protein in the membrane typically have hydrophobic R group to interact with the inner portions of the membrane, not hydrophilic. Which row is correct for a human cell just before the cells enter from phase of mitosis? The correct row for the human cells just before it enters phase of mitosis is C, which is the number of chromatids is 92. and each of the 46 chromosomes has been replicated into 2 sister chromatids. And number of molecules of DNA in nucleus is also 46, and as they are 46 chromosomes, but they exist as sister chromatid. Spindle not to be present in this status because the spindle apparatus begin to form during prophase. And nuclear envelope present, yes, it's present because the nuclear envelope is still intact before prophase begin. Which event is part of the mitotic cell cycle? The correct answer is anaphase. Anaphase is one of the stages of mitosis, which is part of the mitotic cell cycle. Cytokinesis occurs after mitosis. DNA replication happens during interphase. And interphase itself is not a phase of mitosis, but rather the stage that preceded. The diagram shows part of the DNA molecule, which labels represent purine. The answer is B. A double-stranded DNA molecule was analyzed, and 29% of its nucleotide bases were found to be adenine. What percentage of its nucleotide bases will be cytosine? In double-stranded DNA molecule, the base pairing rules state that adenine pair with thymine, cytosine pair with guanine. If 29% of the bases are adenine, then another 29% must be thymine, and this accounts for 58% of the bases. The remaining percentage, which is 100 minus by 58, you get the value of 52%, must be split equally between cytosine and guanine. Therefore, cytosines account for 21% of the bases. The answer is A. When a gene mutation occurs, which of the following may be altered, resulting in the production of a non-functional protein? When a gene mutation occurs, the following may be altered, potentially resulting in the production of a non-functional protein. Amino acid sequence altered due to changes in the protein, DNA nucleotide sequence directly affected by the mutation, and mRNA nucleotide sequence is transcribed from the altered DNA. The correct answer is A. The diagram shows the nucleotide sequence of a small sections of a gene which is transcribed: CGA, GCA, TGC, GCG. The table shows the amino acids coded for by 10 mRNA condor. What is the order of the 4 amino acids in the polypeptide translated from this small section of the gene? The answer is D. 23 is also similar question appear in May 2022. Which changes, but in that questions in May 2022 paper, the questions is related to sucrose instead of carbohydrate. Which changes to the water potential and the volume of liquid in the volume occur when carbohydrate is taken out of a sink into a volume sieve tube element? When sucrose carbohydrate is moved from photosynthetic leaf into the volume sieve tube, the following changes occurs. The water potential in the volume sieve tube become lower because the additions of carbohydrate, the solute decreases the water potential. And the volume of solution in the volume sieve tube increases because water moves into the volume sieve tube by osmosis due to the lower water potential. A dendrograph records changes in a diameter of a tree. The diagram shows a dendrograph fixed to a tree. Some results are shown on the chart recording. What explains the diameter changes recording during the day and night? The answer will be cohesive tension forces increase during the day. Which description is correct for xylem vessels element? This also similar question appeared in October 2022. And the option D is the correct description of xylem vessels element, which is that elongated cells, lignified cell wall with pits at interval, associated with companion cells in the roots only. They are a dead elongated cells within a cells wall, which contain pits at interval and associated with companion cells in the roots. Different substances such as sucrose and amino acid can move in different directions in the folium sieve tube element. Which statement explains this? Mass flow occurs in different directions in different folium sieve tube elements at the same time. Which describe possible mechanism by which sucrose is transferred from a mesophyll cells into a companion cell. The transfer of sucrose from a mesophyll cells into a companion cells primarily occurs through co-transport with the active transport of hydrogen ion, and this is a common mechanism where sucrose is actively transported alongside hydrogen ion. Facilitated diffusions through plasmodesmata, sucrose can only be passed through this channel between cells. So the correct statement will be 1 and 3. So the answer is A. Which statement about hemoglobin is correct? The correct statement about hemoglobin is it can combine with carbon dioxide. Hemoglobin transports carbon dioxide from the tissue back to the lungs where it is released. The diagram shows a section through the heart. Which label is correct? The correct is right atrium. What is the reason for the increase in red blood cells in humans at high altitude? The reason for the increase in red blood cells in humans at high altitude is to compensate for the low percentage saturations of hemoglobin. At high altitude, the oxygen availability is lower, so the body produces more red blood cells to enhance oxygen transport. Which statement explains why the oxygen disassociation curve for hemoglobin is S-shaped? The correct statement is the shape of the hemoglobin molecule changes when oxygen binds to it. This change in shape facilitates the binding of more oxygen molecule, leading to the S-shaped sigmoidal curve. Which reaction takes place in a capillary in alveolus? This is also a similar question, appear in May 2022. To determine which reaction takes place in the capillary surrounding an alveolus, we need to consider the processes involved in gas exchange and carbon dioxide transport. First, carbon dioxide plus water produce carbonic acid. This reaction typically takes place inside red blood cells and not in the capillary surrounding the alveolus, and the enzyme carbonic hydroxy catalyzes this reaction. Second, carbon dioxide plus hemoglobin to produce carmominohemoglobin. This reaction does occur as hemoglobin binds to carbon dioxide to form carbinohemoglobin. However, this is more relevant in tissue where carbon dioxide is being picked up rather than in the lung where carbon dioxide is being released. Statement 3. Hemoglobin acid produce hemoglobin and hydrogen ions. This reaction occurs when hemoglobin releases hydrogen ions and is bind to oxygen. Statement 4. Hydrogen carbon ion to produce carbonic acid and to produce carbon dioxide and water. This reaction is crucial in the lung. Bicarbonate ions are converted back into carbon dioxide and water to be exhaled, and this occurs in the red blood cells surrounding the alveoli. Given this analysis, the correct sets of reactions that take place in the capillaries surrounding an alveolus is statement 3 and 4. A student viewed 3 slides at both low magnifications and high magnification. Each slide was a section through a different airways of the gas exchange system. The student observed 3 features in each slide. Which row in the row sets of identifications for the 3 slides? The answer is A. Which organelle is present in large quantity is ciliated epithelial cells? The correct answer is mitochondria. Ciliated epithelial cells require a lot of energy for the movement of cilia, which is provided by mitochondria. In some cases where a person has lung disease, the partial pressure of oxygen in the pulmonary vein is less than the partial pressure of oxygen in the alveoli. What would explain the difference in partial pressure of oxygen? The answer is C. Why it is difficult to control the spread of malaria? This also question is a similar question which is appeared in May 2019. The answer is the mosquito vector rapidly evolved resistance to insecticides, and the Plasmodium pathogen show great antigenic variability. Which description gives the correct cause and transmission of 40B, measles, and HIV/AIDS? This is also a similar question, appeared in May 2019 for measles and HIV/AIDS. The answer is A. TB caused by bacteria, transmission through airborne droplets, measles caused by virus, transmissions through airborne droplets, HIV or AIDS is caused by virus, and transmissions through bodily fluid. What describe functions of T lymphocytes? This is also a similar question, appeared in October 2021. The correct answer is they can leave the blood and accumulate at sites of inflammation. T lymphocytes or T cells can migrate from the bloodstream to tissues, especially during immune responses, to help combat infections and inflammation. A person's blood group is determined by antigen present on the red blood cells. The table shows the antigens and antibody in the blood of people with different blood groups. During a blood transfusion, it is essential that the recipient blood does not contain antibodies to the donor blood. Which blood group can be given to a person with blood group AB? This is also a similar question appeared in May 2022. A person with blood group AB has both A and B antigen on their red blood cells and does not have antibody A or B in their plasma. This means that they can receive blood from individual with any blood type, as the immune system will not react against the A or B antigens present in the donor blood. So therefore, the correct answer is D. Which statement about immunity is correct? The correct statement about immunity is correct is artificial active immunity lasts for a greater length of time than natural passive immunity. Artificial active immunity typically provides long-lasting protections, while natural passive immunity is temporary. That's all for today's sessions. That's all for today's sessions. Hope that you don't forget to hit the like button, turn on notifications to stay updated, and subscribe to June Study Lab YouTube channel. Wish you all the best in your study and good luck in your examination. Thank you very much.